Over the past several months, I've been having quite a lot of inquiries and questions about external video surveillance cameras. I have made a video on an internal one, but external ones tend to be quite expensive. So I was quite grateful when a company reached out to me to have a look at their camera. And this is it. This is the IMOU Bullit 2C external video camera. And it's quite surprising. Welcome once again to Tech It Out. This is the IMOU Bullit 2C external surveillance video camera, and it's got so many features. I'll try and go through some of them here with you now. Of course, it has night vision, mobile alerts, motion detection, alarm zone, so you can actually set the zone where it looks to view the outside of your house to see if there's any persons walking past or coming towards the house. 1080p full HD, 120 degrees view. It has geoconferencing. It has 16 times digital zoom, so you can zoom in really close. It's waterproof to IP67. It has an alarm schedule, Wi-Fi connection, and cloud and SD card support. And also, you can set it up to an internal hard drive on something like a WD cloud, my cloud, so it records to there as well. On top of all this, it's also got AI abilities, so I'm thinking that means it actually can tell between a dog or a cat or a fox walking past and a human being. It works with Google Assistant, works with Alexa, and is GDPR compliant. So there is so much going on here. And when I tell you the price of this later on, you won't believe just how much high-spec equipment you get for your money. And again, this is all down there, all the different information about the camera itself, just the same as we've gone through already. And of course, in multiple languages. Let's get it open then and have a look what's inside. And then later on, I'm going to set it up and show you some images or video it takes both in daylight and at night time. So this packet is really well packed. So we've got, of course, the quick start guide, and as ever I'm going to throw that into the drawer of obscurity because I like to try and set things up first of all, without going through this quick start guide. I've got this thing about having equipment that is easy to set up. But there is one thing that I will need from there, and that is the QR code for the app later on. Warranty information in every language under the sun. Oh, IMOU Scratch and Win. Top prize £50 Amazon gift card. Oh, that'll come in handy. And a template for drilling the holes for the bracket to hold the camera. Now, it's not some weedy little cheap piece of equipment either. It is quite a big unit. So we have the power supply there, and it's about a 2 meter length by the looks of it. Maybe a bit more, maybe 2.5 meter, and it's in white, which is nice. We have some of the fixings, screws, and then we have the camera itself. And as I said, this is not a weedy little unit. This is quite a substantial unit. You've got the 2 antennas there, 2 little doggy ears or cat ears, whichever your preference is. And we have the power supply input, and we have actually a connection there to plug it in. I imagine that's for setting it up. You plug it into your network, set it up on the network, and then it works wirelessly from there on. That's the way they usually work. Usually, of course, that's under here somewhere, but this one has actually got that, and it's got a cap to cover it in the actual little bag there. The button on the bottom is a reset button. There's another little QR code there. I'm not sure, that might be for the app again. And then we've got a screwed down cover for the SD card. The clamp itself just unscrews. And then you can fit this, just get this out. Does that undo as well? Doesn't look like, I thought it might. Will it fit through then? Yes, it does. There you go. Maybe not. I'm going to have to look into how that works as well. So I'm imagining that comes apart somehow, but it doesn't look as if it does. So that you can actually screw that on. Or maybe you just do that. Took a little while, but I got there in the end. More my fault rather than the actual equipment itself. I didn't have that little ball inside in the right place. Anyway, back to the actual unit itself. So you can fit it so it is that way, turn that around, or you can fit it horizontally and then have it like that, which is the way I'm going to be fitting it, and then tighten that up and it locks it in place. So there we go. Shall we? No, I think I'll leave that bit till last. So next then, let's have a look at the app. So now to get the app then, we take a little booklet. Let's try and get that in focus. Open my camera. Go to the Google Store. And install the app. Simple as that. So we wait for that to install. So it took a while to install there, hence the speeded up version. Let's open the app and see what it has. Accept the terms of service. Access to media, yes, because we need to be able to download the videos and any still images from the camera as well, so we allow that. Access the device's location, yes. And there we go. Now we have to make an account with the IMOU itself, and then we can carry on from there. So while I do that, I'll just stop filming and I'll come back when the account is set up. Okay, so I've now set up and registered the actual app. Next thing is to add the camera to the app. Now, as I said, you can actually plug the camera into your network with the wired connection, but you can also do it via your Wi-Fi as well. So we need to find the camera first. So we need to add a device. Allow. Adding the device. So we just, where is that little QR code? And get it in focus. Found. Powered up. Camera LED is flashing. Green light slowly. Correct, all good so far. And have my password handy. I'd better just grab that. So the next thing I need to do then is to grab my password while this is connecting, and then I'll be straight back after I've actually typed in the password, and it looks as if okay, something. Okay, so now I've put my password in, it's connected itself to the cloud. I can continue the setup. Now this camera is going to go at my front door, looking over the front drive and the garage door. So put on front door. Actually, there were more settings there. Can I go back? Doesn't seem as if I can. Perhaps I can reset the settings later then. 7 days cloud, free trial. I don't want to activate that. We'll do that later. I want it to be local. So basically, it'll record to the SD card and or to my backup storage. So there we go. It's all set up. It's all ready. And away we go, really. We have the front door camera. It's already caught me walking past. And then we have personal push, system info, human detection. As I said, it caught me walking past. So look at the system info and it gives us all the basics. Now, there is one thing I want to check, and that is if there are any updates to the firmware. So we go into settings. Ignore the experience plan. Push net. Okay, account security, we've already set up the password. Fingerprint login, well, why not? So let's do that. This thing has so many features. Then you can delete the account, export your information, change your password. Let's go back. Push notifications. So they're on and they'll be sent to me. And then we have reset device password. I don't need to do that. Legal center, support center, user experience plan, clear, cache, and exit current account. Okay, don't seem to see an update for any firmware there. So let's have a look in tools, LAN live, Wi-Fi detection tool, geofencing. As I said, you can actually do a particular area where you want the camera to record from. Local files, well, I haven't got an SD card in the moment. Download the list, my device, which is the front door cam, my cloud, which I haven't set up yet. Now, as with other cameras, you can have multiple cameras, so you can actually set it up as either a single unit, or if you've got multiple cameras, you can have it in a grid. You have your prompt alarm notifications will no longer be received. So you can turn off your notifications if you're walking about outside yourself doing something, washing your car or something like that, I would imagine. You can turn off the notifications. The only thing I'm not sure of is where is the update? Well, it seems it has no updates built in. So I'll have to have a look at that online. It may be the case that, as with some of them, you put the update onto the SD card and then update it from there. So the next thing we're going to do then is actually install it and see how it works. So let's get on with that. Okay, so now the camera is in place and set up. I've put you in a temporary position at the moment. One thing to think about when you are setting up these cameras is access to them. Now, I know you can get some doorbell cameras, and I really don't like them for the simple reason you can just walk up to it and rip it off or smash it, spray it with paint. And some security cameras, it's been known for thieves to come up and actually steal the cameras, which in this case would be pretty easy because there's only a couple of screws. Pull it off, find a new power supply, and you got yourself a camera. Just factory reset it. And there we go. So you need to set your camera in quite a high position, out of reach and out of reach of any spray paint. I've put it quite high. It's in a temporary position at the moment, of course. I'll put it in its final position. I don't really want to advertise where my camera is. But I put it in a position where I can see the whole of my forecourt and my entrance to my house. And I can see my vehicles. That's about the best position. And you can actually adjust it. I'll show you in a moment. To actually only search certain parts of this frame for movement, which is really good, really, because you get people going back and forth on the road, vehicles, people walking their dogs and things, and you don't really want them to set off the camera. You want the notifications to come up if somebody walks in to your driveway or comes to your door. I have found out at last where the update is kept on these. So if we go into the camera itself, let's see if I can do it. Into the camera, go into the settings. Then we go into device firmware, and it tells you it's up to date. If there's an update, it'll show up there. It has shown up, and I have updated it, so it's currently on its newest actual firmware package at the moment. You've got other things in here I've shown you already, your notifications, your features. It just tells you what features the camera's got. It doesn't actually allow you to do anything apart from apply for the cloud storage. Then you've got notifications. Again, you can put your alarms on, message push with the image, so you can tell you that the time of day and something's outside. Device offline, so if it goes offline, if somebody does manage to disable it, it'll tell you. Arm settings. Now, this is motion detection, of course, and human detection. So if a dog walks past and whatever, I've said it before, that'll actually discount a dog walking past, or a cat or a fox. Arm schedule. That tells you, basically, if you only want it on during the daytime, you can schedule it during the daytime. And then detection sensitivity, detection region settings. Now this is the good part, because you can go into here, and if I just pull out my pen, it shows you the picture again, but now you can actually decide, as I said, where you want the camera to search. Now, here's the road going past. So if I want to disable part of that, go to eraser and disable that part there. So now any vehicles going past on the road won't activate the actual camera. I will. A bit too far there, so I'll just take those two out. Just go like that. So the cars are covered, the road is clear for any vehicles or people to walk past. And unless somebody now walks down into the driveway, it's not going to activate it. And then you just press save, and that's saved. Goes back out to the settings. So now the region setting, and just adjust those boxes as you can do with the finger. You don't have to do it with an S Pen. The other part was the geofencing. Now, geofencing actually switches the camera recording on and off when you're in the house or when you're out of the house. So if you want the camera only to be on when you're out, it will actually turn the camera on when you're away from the house. And I can't remember where that feature was. Now let's see if I can find it again for you. I think it's in the settings. Arm settings, local storage, microphone, shared device, network, more. Wrong settings, so let's go back out. Go to these. And let's see, geofencing. And then you enable the geofencing there. Quite simple, you enable it and you set the region within a few meters of your home, I would imagine. If you're within 30 meters of your home, it doesn't record. If you're away from that, it turns the recording on. Simple as that. And the more services, the Alexa and the Google Home, you can actually set up Google Home so that you can have the image appear on your smart TV if it's appropriately set up, or on your Alexa display, or if you have the Google Chromecast, you can use that as well. So very handy that. If you're just sitting there watching the television, you've got the Chromecast plugged in, alarm comes up on the screen, you can have a look at your telly, straight away you can see who's outside. Download list, I haven't figured out what that's for yet, because one of the small things about this that I really don't like is the inability to actually easily get the images off the camera and onto the phone, so that you can then take them off the phone and use them to make a video with, as I'm doing now, or use them in other ways as proof of somebody's breaking in or whatever. Now, you can actually go to the stored images. So here's a stored image of the front door. There we go. These are all the human activity stored images for yesterday. If I go to yesterday, so they're all there, all the stored images. If I click on those stored images, it comes up and starts playing. As you see, there's a car going past at the moment. Now, there's no download button there anywhere. And it really does need that download, because the only way you can actually get that image off the phone is when it starts playing, is to hit the record button. It starts recording, and then you stop it when you've got the bit that you want. And then you've got to find the app on the phone, and it's not called what the app is called in the App Store. So that makes it even more difficult. So it's a gripe of mine. It needs a download button, but that's nothing to do with the camera. That's the app itself that needs updating and these things put in. And as you can see, you can delete your images, your human activity, as it were. So that's all of it now set up. I'm going to show you a couple of images now off the camera itself. I've managed to get them off the phone eventually. I found the folder that it was in, and you can see the quality of the camera in daytime and at night. Let's have a look at those. So as you saw from this camera, the images are very good. The daytime image is nice and crisp and clear and very sharp, and the microphone is outstanding. It really picks up every footstep almost. And the nighttime images are good as well. A little bit blurry at distance, well, that's to be expected. But with the infrared, it does pick up very good as it comes closer. And then, of course, as the external lights come on, it gets even more clearer still. Not like the daytime image, but very good. Now, I'm very, very grateful to IMOU for sending this camera along for me to have a look at. There were no restrictions for me, what I had to say or anything. It was simply for me to look at it. And here is the price of the camera. This is the Amazon listing. And as you see, UK $39.99. And there's even a discount code that goes with this. So if you want to buy one of these or one of the other cameras, they've even got completely wireless cameras, then you get an extra 20% off with the code, and it's all in the description below, the links and the code as well. So once again then, thank you for watching. Do subscribe and turn on that little bell icon, and we'll see you in the next video.